Well, folks, the Pentagon finally, they confirmed basically what we already knew, that the drones zipping around New Jersey are not being flown by the U.S. This is the worst case scenario. We've got a government that probably knows exactly what's going on here, but all they're willing to do and say is that the drones don't belong to us as a government, instead of just giving us the truth. Our government would rather see people live in terror as foreign drones fly above their bedrooms. The New York Post is calling them spy drones from China, which could make plenty of sense considering China has eyes on all of us every single day. But the question then becomes, why are we not shooting these things down? They've been freely flying around for weeks, completely untouched. What would happen if a U.S. drone was spotted in a Chinese neighborhood? It would be instantly become a decoration above Xi Jinping's fireplace. But just like the spy balloon, Joe Biden has sat back and enjoyed the show. He'll probably start taking these things down, but not for another week or so, just in time for the game. A lot of information on us. Typical Biden fashion. Let China get whatever information they'd like, and then when public scrutiny reaches peak, actually do something about it. Mainstream media will tell you everything's A-okay, but behind closed doors, they're all hyperventilating at the thought of China scrolling through their TikTok history. They're doing everything possible and feasible to not talk about these drones, picking something new to melt down about every single day. Jake Tapper took the cake yesterday. Listen to this latest unhinged rant about Donald Trump.
We should note, Kristen, I don't want to overstate Trump's friendliness and genial attitude at this press conference, because this weekend ABC News agreed to pay $16 million, including legal fees, to settle a defamation lawsuit brought by Trump against the network and their anchor, George Stephanopoulos. And that obviously will not be the end of this campaign against the media, a legal campaign. One of them is the people of Iowa, the Des Moines Register. That's because there was a poll that was inaccurate. Mm-hmm. The one on 60 Minutes is because they didn't like the editing that had been done to the Kamala Harris.
From Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I mean, this is wildly ridiculous.
Well, can you hear the fear in Jake's voice? Because Jakey boy knows they're next. Tapper acknowledged that the Iowa newspaper is getting sued for inaccurate information. 60 Minutes is getting sued for selective editing. Why does Jake have such a problem with this? Democrats love to attack Republicans for the same exact things, using buzzwords like disinformation to get their warped points onto every TV in America. Jake Tapper is just pissed because we finally have a leader who isn't going to go and allow that mega corrupt media members to lie for a living. Unfortunately, society has been fed so much BS by the mainstream media. There are massive sectors of our population that are too confused to identify with any sets of beliefs. I don't know, take vegans, for example. These people can be insane. What used to simply be a diet has now become a total and complete way of life for some of these people. The modern vegan behaves like they're in a cult. These people once only cared about what they put into their own bodies. I care. I'm sure most people care. I try to eat less meat because I'm afraid of what they're shooting up some of the animals with. I don't know. Don't make a cult out of it. But now, if I do eat a steak, they think I'm a murderer. Watch, enjoy this insane encounter between a vegan and a normal meat-eating, flag-waving human being.
I always come by the motto, live and let live. I really don't care. You guys do your thing, I'll do my thing, and we're good, you know?
But you're not living. Live is ironic when you're killing.
I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about...
You just said it.
Very
it doesn't just extend to humans.
I'm talking about you four individuals right here, right now. I'm not talking about Bambi. I'm not talking about Baloo the bear over there at Disneyland. I'm talking about you guys right here.
But what's the difference between letting me live and letting a non-human animal live? Like, I don't think that it would be any more wrong for you to kill me right now than it would be for you to go and kill a chicken right now. I think that would be morally.
And that's your point of view. That's fine.
I mean, take a little too far, don't you think? I wonder who she voted for, by the way. I use vegans as an example here because society has become so all or nothing. Think about it. If you want to eat healthy and reduce some red meat out of your diet, like both of my doctors tell me to do, and I do, doesn't mean I think it's the same thing to kill a cow as it is to kill my boss. It's not. When you heard that guy say, live and let live, exactly right. Do your thing and I'll do mine. And together, maybe we can start to peacefully coexist with each other with diverse values and interests. This way of thinking could actually save the country. But you can't reason with these folks. These idiots are like, you're killing us, so we're going to kill you. And by the way, you're killing us because you're killing a cow to eat a steak. You don't shoot a guy because you don't agree with him. You don't assault someone because they voted for someone different than you voted for. The societal norms and standards remain the same, but behind closed doors, you are free to live whatever life you choose. And that's the beauty of America. It's actually protected in our Constitution. This cult-like mentality has impacted every tier of our society. Unfortunately, it's made its way into our schools. And it's done that years ago. Ideologies are being pushed onto children who have no choice but to absorb what their elders are saying, their teachers. They're giving them grades. Shut up and listen to this, Bobby and Susie, or I'm going to give you an F, and your parents will kill you. So hear my bullshit about what the world is all about blue hair and don't eat meat. Be trans, it's okay. Mayor Eric Adams actually commented on this. Take a listen to what Adams had to say.
Think about the shooter. Ivy League, grew up in an affluent household. His manifesto clearly is showing some signs of hating. Our children are being radicalized. I said this over and over again. And everybody's like, what are you talking about, Eric? And, our children are being radicalized to hate the America, to hate the country that put them where they are. This person had all that one wants to have, but he hated everything to the point of shooting someone. And we better deal with the radicalization of our young people.
So why is Mayor Eric Adams doing this now? Why is he doing this now? Is it because he's afraid? Because they're investigating some of the shady dealings he's been doing, and now he wants to get on the good side of Trump? I don't know. Sure sounds like it to me. Sure sounds like his turn happened right around November 5th of 2024. Right around when Trump slammed the door on liberalism. Sounds like Mayor Adams is going to jump on board just the way Eric Zuckerberg did at Meta, Facebook, just the way Jeff Bezos is trying to do at Washington Post / Amazon, just like Joe and Mika went with their tail between their legs and begged for forgiveness. Adams is doing the same thing. Eric Adams has almost started making a lot of sense. Well, again, since Trump was elected, of course, we can't ignore his destruction of New York City or his thuggish behavior behind closed doors. But I'll give credit where credit is due. The mayor is finally starting to make some sense. His point is a good one. Younger Americans have been poisoned by radicals to think that the country they have come to call home is some crap box wasteland that owes them everything. Young Americans are pissed off for no reason at all. They're told to be pissed. They hate the establishment. They hate Trump. They hate relax. In the case of the United Healthcare shooter, this is important. As the mayor said, that kid had everything one could want. A great upbringing, an Ivy League education. His future was bright and practically set. So why go and take someone's life and ruin your own life in the process? Check out this poll. 41% of young voters think that the killing of the CEO was acceptable. 41% think taking an innocent man's life, whether you like him or not, taking his life and his family's leader, father, husband is okay. What happened to morals in America? I bet that 41% will be much lower if the CEO is a trans or a black dude. This is exactly what's wrong with our society. We riot, we cry about the wrong things. Everyone is just a social justice warrior, yet no one gives a crap about actual justice. Before we move on, I got one more thing I absolutely need to react to. San Francisco, possibly the wokest city in America, maybe even in the world, just appointed a weight stigma czar. Now, before I roll the clip, would any of you like to guess what she looks like? Okay. Surely with a title like that, she has to be in great physical condition, maybe, right? Roll it.
Hi, my name is Virgie Tovar, and I'm the author of You Have the Right to Remain Fat, as well as a few other books on fat positivity and body acceptance.
Well, for those of you listening on radio, podcast, Virgie, let's just say Virgie hasn't worked out a day in her life, I don't think. That's Virgie Tovar, San Francisco's new weight stigma czar. She's a self-proclaimed fat positivity expert. Let that sink in for a second. This woman landed a job with the San Francisco Health Department after years of advocating for obesity. Are you kidding me? I wonder what RFK is going to have to say about that. You see, folks, old Virgie is exactly why we have issues in places like San Francisco. She made the personal decision to let her physical health go. No one cares about that. Fine. Eat. Who cares? Don't work out. Don't get off the couch. Doesn't matter. You do you. I'll do me. But let's not put some sort of authoritarian spin on old Virgie. And let's not say that old Virgie's doing the right thing. And our kids are becoming obese at the fastest rate of any country in the world. Our children are becoming obese, and they turn on the TV, and old Virgie over there is saying, don't worry, obesity's cool. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. So what do? They eat more freaking Twinkies, right? Drink more Coca-Cola, and they get fat. And then see what happens. Let's play this out for a second. Then they grow up, and then they're fat, and they're obese, and heart disease, diabetes, all sorts of diseases come from obesity, are stemming from obesity, and they spend our health care like crazy. And our health care costs go up, skyrocket. As it is right now, if you're over, I believe, 70 years old, you account for 80% of the health care expenses in America. It's inching down. It's going to inch down. Young people are going to start having the same diseases that elderly people have as long as they're obese. And I'm saying, Virgie, putting authority in Virgie's hands, you're condoning obesity. This is a terrible idea. She must have spent years writing books about why you should embrace her way of life. Didn't you not see the dangers of this radicalization? San Francisco is literally the one place on earth where Virgie's way of thinking is acceptable. But there are more. Any liberal city probably is going to have a Virgie soon. They embrace anything. It's a city, San Francisco, full of crackheads and deranged lunatics. We cannot accept obesity as a positive thing. It's a legitimate health condition that cuts your life expectancy into pieces. Yet working Californians are now paying Virgie's salary with their tax dollars. I say they should all rally and pay for a gym membership instead.